Amaya, can you let me know if you can hear me okay before we get started?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to wait just another minute or so to make sure nobody else jumps on. I am going to record this so I can post it for everyone who could not attend. All right, so as we move through, we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. I know everyone's time is precious, and this is kind of a day for you guys to relax a little bit. So I want to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, because there are not very many of us on this call, feel free to unmute and ask me a question or pop it in the chat. I'll try to monitor both. That way, if there's any questions or if anything's confusing, this is your time to ask those questions if something doesn't make sense. Sometimes it makes sense in my brain and doesn't always make sense in everyone else's. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you have the presentation pulled up, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, poo, I did the wrong screen. Give me just a minute. Let's try this again. I want my second monitor. Screen 2. And can you guys just confirm for me that you can see my screen that has the slideshow on it, please?
I can see it.
Perfect. Never know what we're going to get sometimes. Let me see if it'll pull up. Okay, so I put the bit.ly to the presentation here. That way you guys could have it for later. For some reason you needed it. This session is going to count towards one of your employability skill component sessions. So don't forget at the end of the session to fill out the portfolio component form. If you're hearing that and you're going, whoa, sister, I have no clue what you're talking about. We did a session 2 weeks ago on how to fill out that form, and I will post the recording of how to do that with the other sessions. And I'm supposed to have that up now, and I just realized I have not posting it yet. So just know that if you're like, don't know what she's talking about, I will post a video for that. But make sure you use this hour that we are working together to count towards something for your portfolio. I feel like creating a Google site that helps you in your post-secondary journey is definitely worthy of using in your portfolio. So don't forget about that at the end. Main goals. So I hear a lot of times kids say, why do we even have to do a portfolio? Like, or sometimes even parents. So here's the main goal of this. And I wish I had had something like this in high school to help me later on. The biggest thing is to show your growth from a freshman to a senior. A lot of growth happens during those 4 years. And I think as you guys look back, you'll see that growth as you become a senior. So that's one main goal. The other one is to highlight your accomplishments and achievements throughout that time. Sometimes it's really easy to forget. Like if you don't do it as a freshman or a sophomore, by the time you're a senior, you've forgotten about that 4 years ago. So it's really important to make an effort to do that. Sorry, my children. It's really important to do that every so often during the year so you don't forget anything. To document your STEM journey, lots of things will change with STEM during your 4 years, lots of really great things. Field trips, documenting all those careers that you might get exposed to, and then to have a way to share all these things. I think this is the biggest goal. Have a way to share all of these things for college applications, and if you are going straight into the workforce, to have it for job interviews. It is a whole lot easier to hang on, I'm omitting people in the lobby. It's a whole lot easier to send them a link to your site than to necessarily type all these things out. So it's a one-stop shop for your employer to take a look at, you know, who is Jennifer Callaghan and what have they done in high school. Those are the biggest goals. So if you have not already created a Google site, so I'm just kind of looking at some of the folks we have in here right now. If you've not already created one, I need you to go ahead and do that now. So when you go to your Google Drive, and I'm going to pause to let you guys do this as we talk. So go ahead and pull that up on your computer. You will click New, and then you will have to most likely click More to find where you can create a Google site. And then you will just click over here. It'll say Google Sites. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to do that. And if you will just type in the chat and let me know that that you've got your site created so I can move on. And I'm going to pause here. I've got some text coming in of people who cannot join. So let me get that done while you guys are doing that. All right, got people coming in. Sorry, I'm managing the text thread. Okay. Pop back to my Teams right quick. I think everybody has created one. All right, so those of you just getting in, I know we had some people trying to access. We are creating a Google site if you've not already done that. So I just gave folks a minute to go to their Google Drive, click on New, click on More, and create a Google site. Okay, Bryson got in. Good group today. That's awesome. All right, so once you've created your Google site, again, I'm recording this presentation. So if you're coming in and you're like, whoa, I feel lost, you can always go back and watch it. You need to now rename your Google site. And I'm going to be kind of picky about how we name it, because when you're a senior and you submit your Google site, so just so you'll understand the importance of the site, all of the things that we do for components are going to be highlighted in this site. So when you become a senior and you submit for your STEM portfolio diploma or your STEM diploma and your STEM STOL, we are going to look at your Google site. Your homeroom teachers, myself, that's what we look at. We don't go back and look at your individual folders in your Google Drive. So it's really important, the naming part, to help us keep it straight, because we're looking at 100+ portfolios by that point. So I do want you to rename it, and you just click in the top left, and your first initial, dot your last name, STEM portfolio site. And so I gave you an example there. I've created a mock site as well. I'm going to walk through the process with you. And as you're doing that, just start thinking about how you might want to do your basic layout for your site. It can always change. It's not like what you do today cannot be changed. It's a Google Doc. It's a fluid document, but start thinking about that. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to rename their Google site. I'm going to let's see, if you'll throw in the chat when you've renamed it, that's the best way for me to see if we're good to go to the next part. Done. Lots of dones coming in. That's good. I might have somebody in the lobby. Make sure, allowing them in. All right. Looks like everybody's finishing that up. So we're going to keep on moving. Now, if you did not attend the session on creating your Google Drive folder, so what was that? 3 weeks ago, we did a session on how to create your actual STEM Google Drive folder to organize everything. I would go ahead and create one really quick. So again, just top left, click new folder, and you're just going to name it first name, last name, STEM portfolio. So Jennifer Callaghan STEM portfolio for your folder. We want to put this Google site into that folder so that we always know where it is. So you will write, so if you have your site pulled up, and this is y'all just throw in the chat if this is confusing, you're going to, in your Google Drive, right click on your site. So you may have to go back to your drive. In fact, you will have to go back to your drive. Right click on your site, and then there's a move to button, and you're going to click move to, and then I put a picture over here, find your portfolio folder and click on that folder and click move. So again, if you did not already have a folder, go ahead and take a minute, go to Google Drive and create you a STEM portfolio folder. I put that up at the top of the screen. If that's confusing, throw your question in the chat or feel free to unmute. We don't have an unreasonable amount of people on here that we couldn't unmute and ask questions. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to do all of those things. And if you did not join us 3 weeks ago as well, there is a presentation in the previous sessions that walk through what to put in your folder. You can access that later. And then once you have done that, if you will just give me the done in the chat, that helps me out to know to keep moving and give everybody time. It says you can't move your site. So Gracie, let me see here. I'm trying to see what might be the problem. Give me just a second. So Gracie, here's what I would tell you, because it's kind of hard for me to tell without seeing your screen. Let me try one thing first. The only thing I would say, Gracie, is go to share and change your settings. We're going to talk about this in a minute to share the link with anyone. If you don't know how to do that, I'll go over it in a minute. Otherwise, let's not worry about it right this second. You and I can connect either after this session or, one day next week, and we'll get your site moved. So let's not stress about that right now. As long as you have it created, we'll be good for right now. I'm going to make myself a note to follow up with you, though, or I will forget. Again, just give me a done in the chat box once you've gotten it moved. If anyone else has any problems, put that in the chat box too, and I'll follow up with you as well. Thank you. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like everybody's about done. All right, so I'm going to keep moving. So the next thing I want to do is I want to look at a couple of past examples because I think this is important to seeing the bigger picture of the portfolio. So I want you to take 5 minutes, may be too short, but I want you to look at all 4 examples. And while you're looking at those examples, just take about 5 minutes. Think about what the goal of our portfolio is. And when you're looking at those sites, think about what you might change and what the goals are. So some of these are very busy and have a whole lot of information on one screen. Some are very sparse in the beginning and you have to click around. So 5 minutes, take a look at those examples. If you're needing this presentation, I will, it's linked in the STEM Canvas course and on the CCHS STEM webpage, the presentation link. So I'll let you guys poke around with some of those. You about 2 more minutes. About another 30 seconds just to poke around some of those. All right, we're going to see if anyone's brave enough to unmute and share. Anybody want to give your thoughts on any of those about what you noticed?
This is, some of them had blocked content, like Google Slides and Docs would be blocked.
Yes, good one. Remember that in your head. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Anybody else? So I'm going to kind of go by my observations, and all of these portfolios. So I'm going to start kind of with Hannah's. She had done everything she was supposed to do for her portfolio. I think it's a whole lot of information on the left, so I might have thought about collapsing. She has a drop down here, I think. Yep. So here's the thing with this, something just to remember, a lot of that can be collapsed. So I definitely think if you're going to include a lot of information using that collapsible feature, and I have a video we're going to watch in just a minute about some of those tricks. I do like how she kind of gave a little insight into who she is, with, her hobbies, kind of who she is as a person. I do kind of like that. And then she can click on the links on the left. Now, remember, for some of these permissions, because when they graduate, their apps account is probably disabled. Sometimes that's an issue, which we'll talk about in just a minute. So this one is super simple. He's got his information over here on the left. I'm sorry, she. And she just has her name at the top. That's okay too. I think the blank space at the bottom probably could be filled in. It looks a little sparse up there. I also like personalizing the picture behind a name, like rather than using a preset one, which is okay. But I think sometimes that helps a little bit to show you spent some time on it. They just have the STEM logo there, so at least there's not that white space at the bottom. There is something there. And then their links are all at the top. So resume is there if it's going to let us do it. Cover letter, that kind of thing. I'm gonna keep going. Might take a while to load. And then the fourth one here, the big conglomerate summary of the experience. I think sometimes if you're not going to use this for a college admission application or a job, I think this is okay. But I do think you want to remember to keep it professional. And then at the top, she's got all of her things up at the top. So just kind of some examples there. I'm actually going to post a whole bunch of examples. I think I'll probably do it on the STEM Canvas page, just so you guys can look at them as you are moving through and need examples. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to manage your Google Sites. So I'm going to play this video. I don't know if it's going to be glitchy or not, because sometimes Teams does that. So if I start playing this, I just need someone to throw in the chat it's glitching or lagging. And what we'll do is I'll just pause it and give you guys time to watch it on your computer, so we don't have to deal with that. So.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis. I'm back, and today I'm going to be bringing you the all-new for 2016-2017 Google Sites tutorial. I've had such an awesome number of views on my old Google Sites video. I decided to go ahead and make a new one. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just give you a simple run through of how to get a website up and running using the new Google Sites. It is a change, but it's not going to be impossible. And I think if we work on this, we can do this together. So here we go. Go ahead and get yourself signed into your Google account, okay, for starters. Get myself logged in. Now, these are the previous sites that I've created before, and I think you would have seen these if you watched my old how to create a Google site video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to create. Now, this time when you click on create, you have an option to create in classic sites or new sites. Highly recommend that you create in new sites, because at some point eventually the classic sites will have to be migrated over to new sites and or they will be deleted. So let's go to in new sites. Now, again, I'm just going to take you through a run through of the basic features. We're just going to get a couple pages uploaded. I'm going to talk about what these things do on the screen that you're looking at. Essentially, you have the same tools that you had before, but now there's just a slightly different layout. There's a lot more on the collaboration side that they're putting into this version of the Google Sites, which is great. So
I'm going to stop for just a minute. Sorry, I just realized you may want to work while he's doing this presentation. So if that is the case, I just want you to think about how you want to organize it. I'm going to go back to the video. Just remember about your main page. I suggest either doing your main page by grade level. Like right now, my main page for my practice site is just 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And those are going to be buttons, or by portfolio component. So just be thinking as you're listening to that video of what you want your site to look like, which is why I showed some of those examples. So anyway, just wanted to mention that in case you guys want to work while he's talking. Okay. Oh no, did it start back at the beginning? Okay, let me
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis. I'm back, and website up and running using the new. Take you through a run through of the basic features. We're just going to get a couple pages uploaded. I'm going to talk about what these things do on the screen that you're looking at. Essentially you have the same tools that you had before, but now there's just a slightly different layout. There's a lot more on the collaboration side that they're putting into this version of the Google Sites, which is great. So this is what happens when you open up the new sites. Okay, you're going to come to this type of a layout. Top right corner over here, you got themes, so you can change the overall theme of your page if you want to. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I spent about 5 or 10 minutes working on the new Google Sites. As soon as it popped up on my screen, I knew I had to get this video out for you guys. Okay, I wanted to get this out there so you can get busy and start making your own web page. So I'm going to go off with the simple layout. Okay, you can kind of choose your color scheme overall if you want to. Okay, very simple. Right here, you've got your font style, so you can go light, classic, or heavy. I'm just going to go just default light is fine. Let's go ahead and give our page a title. We need to call our website something, our web page something. So I'm going to call this My Mustang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a really quick website dedicated to my 1991 Mustang GT that I sold a few years ago. Unfortunately, I had to let her go. But anyway, I can still keep her memories living on the internet, right? So once you put this in here under your title, you got a few options. Okay, you've got different size text that you can go with, title heading, subheading, normal text size, okay, title size, and so on. You've also got your justification center, left, center, right, and center justified down the middle, okay. Right here, you can link this text to another website. You can put the text right here as well as the link down below. And so when somebody clicks on that link, it'll take you someplace else. Okay, you've also got the trash can where you can make that go away if you make a mistake on it. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead. Well, you know what? Let's talk about some of the features. You can use this to undo the last action in case you make a mistake. You can click up here to go ahead and give your site your website a name. I'm going to call it My Awesome 1991 Mustang GT website. You've got a preview mode where you can actually see it kind of in a live view, so you can see what it would look like if you're actually online, and I'll do that for you before we get done. Right here, you can add editors. I haven't even tried this enough to know. Supposedly, you can do editing in real time with other people, which would be great, because before, like, you'd have to work on a page, hit save, and then the other person would jump in and hit save. When you're done, you're going to hit publish. We'll do that and see what happens. Under more, you can actually use analytics to see how many people are visiting your website, which is really cool. If you do any advertising on your website, you can sign up with Google and get all that taken care of. Send feedback, help, take a tour. Okay, as we go across to the top here, you can insert a text box on any of the pages, images, you can upload to it. You can embed a URL if you want to. You've also got options to include folders from Drive. You can embed YouTube videos. You can put a calendar on it. Pretty much whatever you want to add on any of your pages, you have this simple set of icons that'll do it for you. You can import from Google Docs, slides.
I'm going to pause right here for a minute. So that part about embedding from Google Drive is super important, which is why I wanted you all to create that STEM portfolio folder a few weeks ago. When you get ready to embed some of your components, once you click on insert from Drive, you can go straight to that folder and actually insert your portfolio reflection component, your pictures from Google Drive. All of that's in one place, and it automatically puts it into your Google site, which I will have another session, probably more along the lines of January, after we've gotten a chance to get some information rolling this year in our Google Drive and PBLs and things like that on how to do that. But just wanted you to know that was the importance of the Google Drive folder. Oh, nuts. It's going to start back over. All right, bear with me. Oh, grr. We're just going to guess here.
Okay, now here's the more pics page. There's a picture of my old Ford Mustang. And so anyway.
Sorry, guys. I won't pause it
Go
anymore.
You've got your albums.
Once I get it right.
Looking theme. They've got some really nice themes. They've definitely
Oh my gosh.
website and get it up and running. No time at all. So we're going to go ahead and change the image. We're going to go ahead and upload a picture of my Ford Mustang that I used to drive. Let's see, where do we want to go? We'll go to, you've got your albums, and I just have some profile pics in here.
Again, feel free to do this on your site now as he talks.
Select a file from your computer. Now I've got some pictures on standby, and so we're going to go ahead and upload one of the photos. I want to go ahead and make that the main photo on my webpage. Click on open. Okay, it's going to go ahead and upload the photo. There you go. There's a picture of my old Ford Mustang. And so anyway, there it is. You can also go back and undo that if you want to. You can reset it if you're not happy with how it looks. But, you know, I like that. That looks really cool. That's neat. Let's see, what does this say? Remove readability adjustment. Again, there's so many different ways you can tweak this if you want to. I'm just showing you the basics so you can get yourself a website up and running. And then from there, you can pretty much tweak it however you want to. All right, so for pages, let's go ahead and check out. Let's go ahead and add a page to it. We're going to call this more pics, as in more pictures. Okay, we're going to say done.
So this might be freshman year
now here's
for
the more pics page.
Or
okay,
the page might be called employability skills.
Okay, it's very simple. Header type. Okay. Large banner. Sure, why not? Oh, maybe how about just a banner? That's better. There we go. Awesome. Okay, now I want to go ahead and let's put a photo down below. Okay, because I want to put another picture up here. So insert an image. Select from my computer. And I'll choose another picture that I have here. It should be a different picture. They're going to look the same. They were taken at the same car show. So it's going to put it on a queue. We click on upload. And there it is. Now what's really cool about this is you can just simply drag it over and move the picture however you want to. And when you do it, you see you got these little lines here that kind of help you center the picture wherever you want to put it. You've also got that menu like we had seen before. Okay, we can crop the picture. You can uncrop the picture. You can link the picture to another website if you want to. You can go ahead and delete the tile if you don't want it. Okay, more editing options. You can add text and also replace images. Okay, so you also have this option too. Okay, so anyway, just to show you, these are just a few of the things that you can do to get this website up and running. Again, if you just want to type some more text, you can click on text box and you can just put something underneath of it. Let's put, I purchased this car in, oh gee, what year was it? 2006, I believe. Okay, I'm all done with that. We're going to go ahead and just leave it as is. That's where the text is. And maybe we'll want to go ahead and center that. Is that going to center for me? No, not yet. Okay. So like I said, guys, I'm still figuring this out with many of you too as we run through this, but I just simply want to show this to you so you can see how you can get this up and running. Got some options over here, section background, and you can also delete the section if you want to. I don't know, let's just click on some stuff and see what happens. All right, you can put some tone behind it. There we go. Add a little bit of bold to it if we want to, kind of spiff it up a little bit. And if I wanted to say embed a video of my car possibly, okay, I could also embed the video on this page. You can simply search the video, okay, and you can also put in a address for a YouTube video, and then from there it would embed the video on the web page for you. Again, I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as I possibly can. So this is my second page that I created. More pics of my car. This is very cool. Go back to pages. We want to go back to home. Let's see, what kind of options do we have here? Oh, we could rename the page if we want to. So if I'm not happy with it, I have that option. I can then set my second page as my home page, rename it, or remove the page from the side if I don't like it. Let's see, left side over here is just simply a click. You can click on the tab. And again, if I wanted to add a third page, I would just simply click right here. Oh, and it also adds your quick links across the top too, okay? And so you can get to more pics, or you can go right back home if you want to. All right, so quickly what we're gonna do is just go ahead. I've gone back to my home page now. I think what we'll do is just go ahead and do a live view so we can see what it looks like as we preview it. And there you go. You've got your preview mode. You can see how big the picture is and how awesome it looks. Okay, we can click over on more pics. We can see this page. Okay, it does give you a nice full size. I'm sure you can get into the code and do some CSS background stuff if you want to, or really start to mess with the HTML if that's what you want to do, which is really cool. Okay, we'll go ahead and take it back. I like that. I'm happy with it. I think we'll go ahead and go with it for now. And again, like I said, anytime you want to insert any of these other items, you can do so. If you check out my old video on how to create a Google site, a lot of these items are going to be the same. You can install a file if you want to from Drive. You can embed a file if you want to. You've got your Drive folder that'll pop up for Google Drive. And again, I don't have a lot on this particular email address that I'm using because I just tend to use this for YouTube videos. So there you go. If I want to put more images, I can do that too. So they're giving you lots of flexibility. And again, they're really trying to simplify it as much as they can. Unfortunately, even I myself, I'm going to have to migrate some of my own work websites over too. So we'll get that done. But you know what? Let's go ahead and publish it. And the publish window to pop up here. And we'll put in my Ford Mustang GT. We'll click on publish, and now it's publishing. Like I said, I didn't check that out before. It says your site's been published successfully. I can now view that, and there's the website. There it is. And if I want to edit it, looks like I can just click on the little pencil down here. I can create a new site. I can go back into editor mode. There you go. As long as I'm logged into my Google account, I can check it out. So again, guys, I probably should have checked that out beforehand. So you do have some publish options too once you do get it published. So there you go. Publish settings, view the published site, and unpublish if I don't want somebody to see it. And again, the whole add editors option is really cool. You can add somebody's email address and add them as an editor. You can make them the owner. You can make them the editor. You can make them just for a viewer only if you want to share it. And so on. So there you go. You got lots of options, guys. All right. So anyway, thanks again for that.
All right. So that's the gist. So I do want to share one thing. I'm going to come out of this for just a second and put my site over there. I hope that was somewhat helpful. I mean, there's a ton of videos out there on Google Sites. I was just trying to find one that was somewhat short and did all the features. I do think the organization of your pages is super important from the beginning. So give me just a second. I want to throw this over here right quick. And be thinking if you have any questions. I got to find mine. So here's my STEM portfolio folder. If it ever loads, just thinking about it. There we go. Maybe. And there's my site that I put in my folder. Again, mine's blank. I'm creating mine along with you guys so I can understand your struggles and what you're going through. When you go to create pages, however you decide you want to lay yours out. Oh my word, could we go any slower? Let's get rid of some of this up here. Maybe that will help. Okay. When you go to pages over on the right and you have your home button. So what I did was, in my mind, I was creating a 9th, a 10th, 11th, and a 12th grade page. And so when you click these 3 dots right here, and these are all sub pages to my home page, then I might want to create one that says 10th. You can always rename it later. Might want to create, and you may decide you want to do portfolio components, not by grade level. This just, in my mind, made sense. But my husband would argue that sometimes my mind is not like everybody else's. Okay. And so then what I can do is from here, I can now create a sub page under there that might say, let's give me employability. I don't know. I'm just making something up right now. Employability skills. So the important part to that is for organization purposes, all this would be underneath 9th, and then I would make a subpage under 10th or however you decide to do it. But I have created a lot of Google sites since remote learning started, and that was super helpful. And then what you can do is you can, let me just pick, let's see, I want to link this. I'm going to have a pick right quick. Hang on just a second. 9th grade. Maybe I want to do, let's see if I can find a cool button. Well, there we go. I'm just gonna, let's see if I can just copy and paste. Negative. So I could save that image, add it, I believe, because it's not going to let me drag it. And then I can link that image. Let me show you how to do that right quick. Let me just walk through it. And you could do your own, you know what I might do? I'm just gonna do this right quick. I wanna show you how you can do buttons right quick. If you go to Google Drawings, click more. Let's do it the legit way, not Maps, Callaghan, because technically that's copyrighted, so we shouldn't do that. Let me try this again. My mouse. If you create a button within Google Drawing, the great thing about that is it will update. So I'm just going to create one that says 9th. I'm going to throw in again. I'm just doing something quick. I'm going to throw me in a shape. I'm really feeling, just do a square. You can play with color and all that good stuff later. Just draw a little square here. Throw me in a text box in the middle. 9th grade. Wow. Callaghan, let's work on that. Again, you could get creative with this. I'm just going to do it quickly. And then I think I called it 9th, correct? I can come over here, click on search, and type in 9th. There. Okay, don't know what that looks like. I'll go back and figure that in later. Okay, so there's my 9th grade button that I just did. And then you have this arrow. Hang on. Okay. Where's my link? Give me just a second. There's my link. So what you can do is click link, and I can link it to that page. So when they click that, I want them to go to my 9th grade page and click apply. Oh, look, it did it for me. See, learning as we go. So now that becomes an active button that will take me straight to that 9th grade page, if that makes sense. And you can link the picture. I would just have to go back and play around with how to do that. So if I want to preview that, we'll see if it works. Click 9th. That's going to take me to my 9th grade page. So I do think that's important to go ahead and do. And you can make that in Google Drawings. You can create an image and upload a picture. You could take your own picture and put it in there and hyperlink it. There's lots of different things you could do. So I hope that all made sense. And again, we'll do some more of that after that. So this is your time for you to ask any questions that you have. Again, don't forget to fill out the portfolio component reflection form on the STEM Canvas page and count this as an employability skills session. Just fill out that information, put me down as the session leader, Jennifer Callaghan. What questions do you guys have? Or if you have suggestions on the next live session. I will say next Friday at 11, there will be a STEM Careers and Conversations from 11 to 11:30. That will be a fraud analyst from Wells Fargo, I believe. And after you watch that 30-minute presentation, you can also count that as one of the careers parts of your portfolio. So I might do a live session that morning. I haven't decided yet. But if you want to throw in the chat some other live sessions you need for the portfolio or for STEM in general, just throw those in there. Otherwise, that's it. So I'll just hang around for a few minutes and see if you guys have any questions.
I had a question about how you organized the grade levels.
Okay.
So the way you did it, like how it's at the bottom, does ours have to be like that? Or I had mine organized to where they're at the top of the page and you just kind of click on it.
Are you talking about the actual Google site?
Yeah.
That part does not matter. That is a personal preference.
Okay.
Yep, you get creative as you want for that.
Okay, and then where do we go to fill out the employability form?
To get credit to use this in your portfolio?
Yes.
Okay, if you go to the STEM Canvas page, I'm going to share my screen again and I'll walk you through that. If you haven't joined it, you just have to join the enrollment code. I sent that out last week. A lot of people had trouble joining last week because you have to take the period at the end of the enrollment link off. I have tried multiple times to correct that and can't seem to get it right. So when you enroll in the class, it should look like this. And again, this is a work in progress. I'm going to change the color of the buttons. I just haven't gotten there. So when you log in, there's one called the component reflection form. And when you click on that button, it will show you this. It's automatically going to force you to make a copy. And so my suggestion is that as you make a copy, to rename it, I said first name, last name, grade level, and component. I know that's a lot, but I think it'll help you stay organized. So when you click on it, and I don't care necessarily how you name it as long as it has your last name on it. So I'm just going to click a Google Doc. And then up here at the top, I'm going to rename it. Spinning. Let me be patient. Husband also say that's not a strong suit of mine. So I'm just going to name it J. Callaghan. Just going to say this is 9th grade, and I'm going to abbreviate employability skill. And so then when you open this up, you will just fill this out. First name, today's date, event or activity could just be create your Google site. And then at the bottom, I've put exactly what you can put in your reflect you. And then you just type your 2 paragraphs right there. And then down at the bottom, you can literally just type your first and last name because of COVID. That'll be in place of a signature. You can put my name down at the bottom, Jennifer Callaghan. My email or phone number can go there, and your homeroom teacher. And I know you guys have not met in homerooms yet, but that is coming. So just put the name of your homeroom teacher there. That part down there, they will initial once you have finished. And then my tip to that is take it then as soon as you do it and complete it, go ahead and click move and put it in your Google Drive folder. So you'll always have it to come back to. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions do you guys have? Ashley, I see your question about joining the STEM Canvas page. I will shoot you an email right quick with the enroll link.
Can you send me that email too?
I sure will. Hang on just a second. If you will, just throw in the chat if you need me to send the enroll link for the Canvas page, and I will get that done. That way I can keep up with who I'm sending it to. Canvas enroll link. Anybody else on the call that have questions? Good time to ask. And again, if for some reason the link ain't wanting to work, make sure there's not a period on the end of it. Let's try this again. I tried to take it off when I copied it. So I have Ashley on the email. Let's see. Olivia. So just Ashley and Olivia. Okay. Got you guys. It's headed your way now. Done. All right. What other questions do we have? Anybody have particular sessions they want me to think about hosting in the future to help you guys with this, or just keep doing updated sessions? I'm always open to ideas.
So I was like really late to the meeting, so I missed the beginning, and I don't know if you went over the criteria that has to be on the portfolio or if that's on a link or something, but I don't really know what's supposed to be on the portfolio.
Okay, who was that right quick? Just talking.
Olivia Guider.
Okay, Olivia. So on the STEM Canvas page are all the portfolio components. There's a button for that will show you like what you need to do for 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And then one of our previous sessions was how to organize the Google Drive folder. And that presentation is posted so you can walk through what your Google Drive folder should have in it. If you still have trouble or you're getting confused, just reach out to me and we'll set up a session and we'll go through it together. We can do like a one-on-one session. How do I edit the reflection form on the Canvas page? You have to make a copy. So when you get to the Canvas page and you see the reflection form, there's a little arrow and it's going to force you to make a copy, and then you can edit your copy. Kevin, let me know if that didn't make sense or if you're still struggling. it just sends me to a PDF of the document. All right, hang on. I'm going to share my screen again and walk back through it. So Kevin, if you are on the home page here, okay, so you should be clicking on the component reflection form, and you just stop me if it is not working. And then you should be clicking on this arrow right here where it says pop out. And when you click that arrow, it will force a copy. And you're going to have to do open with and then Google Docs. I've tried to find a way to skip that step, but the way we have the form set up is just kind of what it is. And then when it opens that up, it should bring up a blank document for you to rename. Should. I got something jacked up. Let's try this again. Kevin, did that work? Let me close some of my tabs out, y'all. It's intense up here in the tab world of Jennifer Callaghan. It's interesting. It went ahead and renamed it again. Huh. Starting to see the problem. What you can do is just make a copy of this, I guess. I might have to have that looked at. I might have to spend some time figuring out. It should force a new copy when you click on it, and it's not. It's doing my old copy. I'll play around with that. But Kevin, could you at least get in there to edit the form? You'll just let me know in the chat. Okay. I think he's got it. Any other questions? All right, guys. Well, that's all that I have. I can edit if I make a copy of yours. Perfect. That'll work. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Again, if you have questions or suggestions for me for sessions or help that you need in regards to STEM, feel free to email me, jennifer.callaghan, or I have my phone number out there on the CCHS STEM page as well. Always looking for ways to make things better for you guys. All right. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you later.